All right, I want to open this podcast on an important PSA because it's starting to get sunny again. We're always getting towards summer, and this needs to be said, and I'm going to be one to say it. If you're not taking care of your feet, you can't wear sandals.
Excellent.
Don't you agree?
100%.
Yeah.
I got on the bus the other week and
Exactly.
and some guy took off his shoes and socks.
I can get sick.
It's disgusting.
Ugh, no, yeah. I hate that even more than if you're wearing sandals. But yeah, it's just, especially with the sun coming out, more people are wearing sandals. I have some weird, I don't know if it's dyspraxia or OCD or something. If someone's wearing sandals and they have gross feet, even though I don't like looking at it, I can't stop looking at it.
Well, no, but it's like you wouldn't not wear a t-shirt if you had like a gross, disgusting body.
Yeah, exactly.
So, actually,
it's the same with sandals.
People do.
Some people
in
do.
the UK.
But they wouldn't wear like a vest. They wouldn't wear something really revealing.
If you go
why
out,
are you exposing your feet?
If you go outside of London to like a proper like British place.
Yeah,
people,
that's true.
They're
wearing the white
fucking,
beaters
big, bold
with their
men.
pint of Stella.
Yeah, they just walk around shirtless. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, their wife is nearby, but they're not talking to them.
Yeah.
They're with the lads. But yeah, I mean, it applies to that too. But
they're literally like raw red from the
yeah,
sun. Like
I'm a weirdo though. A fat man's hairy, flabby chest doesn't bother me as much as just someone's bare feet.
I do agree because feet are quite unhygienic.
Yeah, exactly. It's just by nature.
Like you wash this every day. You wash your feet, but
you're not putting
your feet are literally on the ground.
Yeah,
time,
all the time. Yeah, it's just gross. If you're not taking care of your feet, no sandals. I think it's a fair rule. All right. Good. Anyhow, let's jump in. So, welcome to Dillon and Sebastian, I'm a Simpsons podcast. A podcast myself and Sebastian do, whether or not we have electricity.
I feel like there's a bit of a power dynamic here.
Oh yeah.
You're higher up than me, so I feel like people are going to think you have the power over me.
They should think that. It's my name first. I'm the bigger Simpsons fan.
There we go.
Just kidding. Nicely done.
Hopefully my head's
You're probably higher up than me now, yeah. But yeah, today we are reviewing It's a Blunderful Life. This is the 7th episode of the 35th season, and shall we just jump in?
Let's jump in, Dylan.
Let's do it. So we get a little title scroll for first time in a while, like something flying across the title screen. It's just a Thanksgiving turkey, because obviously this is a very big Thanksgiving episode. And we also get a fantastic couch gag.
Really cool.
Yeah, really, really good. It's a real life human hand draws like a turkey. You know, that thing you'd always do in preschool, like in play school. And the turkey comes to life and creates different pieces of the family.
So I thought this was going to be really bad.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing? Like just cardboard, like stop motion.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be shit, but it surprised me.
Ended up being really fun. Yeah, for sure. The family all pop up in wings on the turkey. And they go to the couch, takes a shit, and then Homer's the shit. Fun little quick couch gag. I had to look up. Yeah, really great. I had to look up who animated it, and I obviously assumed it was a guest animator, and it is two female Swedish animators named Katrin von Wiederhausen and Janine Widget.
You couldn't get more like a more Nordic name.
I know, yeah. Wiederhausen.
What is it? Say it again.
Katrin von Wiederhausen.
Katrin von Wiederhausen. Crazy.
Isn't it wild? Sounds like a character, like a Tarantino movie or something. But yeah, their stuff is amazing. I recommend checking out their YouTube. But they blew up before they even started working for The Simpsons. They did this video. There's an episode where Homer goes to New Orleans and he wants to try out all like the weird, like unique food they have in New Orleans. It's just like a montage of him eating those foods. They did like a recreation of that as themselves, like eating the same foods as him and like trying to have the shot look exactly like the shot in the show. Yeah, and that obviously caught the attention of the real life people working on the show. So they have done a bunch of couch gags since then. This being the most recent one, obviously. If you remember Burger King, it's one of the first episodes we reviewed together. Yeah. There's that one with a Swiss Army knife.
I do remember this.
Yeah, they did that one. And then if you remember Happiest Tortoise, the first episode of season 33, there was one that parodied that dinosaur game you can play on Google when you have no internet connection.
I do remember this.
Yeah, so they did those two.
They're quite memorable.
Very creative. Yeah, very memorable, 100%. Yeah, this one was
not
brilliant.
Conventional couch gags.
Not at all.
Obviously, especially in the way they look.
Their style is very, very unique. It's super cool. I like that they did that live action recreation video that got the producer's attention, and they didn't just like obviously they were like, oh, you guys want to do a couch guy, and they weren't just like, oh, let's do what made us popular. They're like, no, I want to do my own unique thing. You know, I really respect it. All these 3 couch guys have been very different so far.
Yeah,
super cool. Yeah, it seems to be a thing now because that's literally one for season 32, 33, 33, 34, and 35. So it seems to be a thing that they get a couch guy every season now, which I hope continues because theirs is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we jump into the episode then. It's Thanksgiving 60 years from now. We see a much older Simpsons family enjoying Thanksgiving. Lisa's shooting out the dinner from a machine, but they're out of cranberry toner. And a much, much older Marge, like in her 80s, reveals it's their first Thanksgiving since Homer passed. But they see his hologram is still there, and he requests more turkey, and he's eating it, just slipping away.
I didn't get that because Homer's hologram wasn't really eating the food that was on the table.
No.
Right, it was like a recording of him eating. But then
he's able to interact with them.
He'd pick it up and throw it behind him.
Yeah, and do it again and again.
Yeah. That didn't really make sense.
What do you mean? What didn't make sense about it to you?
Because he threw it behind him and then Santa's little helper was eating it off the floor.
Yeah, it's just a hologram. He can't eat it.
But he wasn't eating the actual food on the table. It was a recording of him eating food.
Oh yeah, I didn't make that connection either, actually.
But then he was still able to throw food back.
Yeah, he's able to pick up the food. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That was a bit inconsistent. Now, it didn't cross my mind, but now that you say it, yeah, it's like, was that meant to not make sense, or did they just not realize that themselves? That is a bit confusing. Yeah. yeah, very, very odd. It was fun. I always enjoy seeing the stuff in the future. But they all shine their iPhone candles in remembrance of the great blackout that almost destroyed Springfield when they had to write things by hand, and all their kids start screaming like it's absolutely terrifying. Lisa said,
Sorry, what I love about this future setting as well is that, well, they didn't give it to us for very long, but also that it wasn't just the future, it was like the future. It was like Lisa was the grandma.
I know,
so that says a lot.
That was cool, we've never gone that far back. It was a very bleak future. It's like Marge, Homer's dead, Marge is close to death, and Bart and Lisa are super old.
Marge must be like...
She must be 80, 90 in that clip. Yeah. Wild. But Lisa said it started on a cold November day, back when you could see snow outside of a museum. And we got the present day, 6 days before Thanksgiving. This is the Simpsons that we know. Kent Brockman is reporting that a storm is coming, and Marge wakes Homer up in the middle of a luau. He's like dreaming that he's in Hawaii. And he's like, oh, this isn't Hawaii. It's never Hawaii. Just stupid America. Great bit. He refuses to be scared about the storm unless there's a terrifying new term for it. And Kent Brockman calls it an Arctic blast with a bomb cyclone and a chance of fire NATO. In other words, an Arctico-NATO. And he reveals that he's selling hoodies for it. And got to Homer making a note to buy 10 hoodies. And Marge asks if he remembered to prep the storm windows. He promises that he did, but Lisa narrating says that she's learned that 2 things are utterly pointless: scented toilet paper and a promise from Homer Simpson. I didn't even know scented toilet paper was a thing. Have you ever heard of this? Maybe it's only in America. But that does sound very pointless. Scented toilet paper. That does sound very pointless. Like, to have your ass smelling good.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've got a sneeze coming.
Here it comes. Oh no. That's definitely nice to listen to.
That technique. So... I actually buy my toilet paper. I don't know if it kind of is
You're
scented.
One of those people, okay.
It's coconut.
Oh.
But it's like extra soft and it's very subtly smells like coconut.
Well,
so I do, actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If it does something for your ass, then, you know what I mean, it cushions it, and I think that's fine. But if it's literally just to have it smell nice, what's the point? Although, to be fair, you are very into ass play, so I suppose it is good for you.
Who said that?
Just kidding around.
No, but I think it is hygienic to have a nice smelling bottom.
Fair enough.
Because you never know, like, you could have a bit of leftover shit in your pants.
That's true.
And you're walking around and people are like...
We've all had a skid mark. Is that just me? Just me. You've never had a skid mark in your life.
I'm sure everyone has.
100%. So you're actually offended by this joke then? Lisa calling it pointless. Yeah.
Because it's not.
So you're triggered, you might say.
I don't think it is pointless, but coconut obviously makes sense because it is...
Yeah, no, coconut makes sense for sure. But would you say you're triggered by this joke? You want to get on Twitter and try to cancel the Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I will.
Go for it. Let's check back next week and see how that's going for you. But yeah, he said he put up the storm windows, and snow just like burst into their room along with Ralph. He says that he'll put them up after work, and he puts on the Hawaiian top because it's Hawaii Day. We cut them at the breakfast table. Lisa's disgruntled that they're getting a turkey for Thanksgiving, saying that faux turkey will taste just like the real thing in a few years' time. And we cut to the really old Bart in the future eating the faux turkey. He's like, nope, still sucks. Cut back to the 10-year-old Bart. He calls for a drumstick, but Homer reminds him that they signed an agreement that he would get drumsticks every Thanksgiving. They signed this agreement the day he was born. And Bart says, I was too young to sign a contract. And Homer just goes, I believe this is your footprint, is it not? The guy, it's just like a little baby footprint with ink. He says he also had it notarized. It's just Homer's footprint. And then Bart starts strangling Homer, which was fantastic. That made me smile. They did bring the guy. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, it's exactly what I said. They'll find ways to bring it back,
and they did
when it works, and it's unique. And that was unique. I don't think we've ever seen him strangle Homer. I thought that was a great moment and a great reason to have it too. That he signed an agreement when he was a baby that he would always give the two drumsticks. So good. We then cut to the power plant, and we see the both of the like chimneys are wearing like Hawaii outfits, which I thought was great. And Burns just goes, "Welcome," or as they say in Hawaii, "Welcome." And we find out that he threw this day so none of them would see that the cheaper replacements. None of them would see the cheaper replacements he's bringing to the power plant are all like non-union workers. But he tells them to enjoy the party, knowing that their jobs are safe and he could never replace them. And Carol just goes, nothing ulterior about that statement. And he welcomes, he goes to a different room to welcome all the non-union workers. He calls them his new friends without benefits. And through song, fantastic song.
Great song.
I thought amazing, like a proper like villain song, almost like something you'd see in a Disney movie. Is he singing about? Obviously, we'll include the song in the audio. He's singing about how all the workers should be non-union, they get no dental, and only one bathroom where they must queue up. That's the Monty Burns way. At the very end of the song, they form the shape of his face, saying, "It breaks over, back to work." It was so good.
It made me smile. In a good way, it felt very Disney villain.
It did, for sure. In a good way, for sure. Almost like a parody of those kind of villain songs. Absolutely, like the Cruella de Vil, Scar song in The Lion King, that kind of stuff. It was so good. I mean, obviously, the best Mr. Burns song will always be "See My Vest."
Of course.
But this is up there. This was fantastic. It really made me smile. It was just so Mr. Burns in the best way. And then Mr. Burns asks how they all sing so well, and Smithers says that they're all musical theatre majors. We see the people who decorated Burns's. This is back at the Hawaii party. People have decorated Burns's polar bear. Someone's playing a guitar in the radiation room, and Lenny's juggling fire. And they nominate Homer to take out the trash, and he very nearly throws it into the reactor core, but he eventually realizes it's the wrong place and puts it into the waste. That was such a weird moment. It was like they were trying to make us think, "Oh, this is going to be a really big plot point." It's like, no, it's just,
whatever.
I know I put it into the reactor core. Yeah, it would have been too obvious because we've done these. Him being incompetent worker so many times. True. Like, oh no, I know I don't put trash in the reactor core. He's like, oh, close one. We see that Burns wants to reconnect with Bezos and Musk to reclaim his title as world's most self-serving billionaire. He just needs to plug in his phone. We see that like the power fuse is already blown way too much, but he still tries to plug in his phone. It causes a massive fire. Everyone flees, including the pig on a spit. That was hilarious. And a robot voice informs them that a meltdown is imminent and to take the time to make it right with their god. This bit was funny, but I thought they missed out on the gag here. I'll say in a second. Is that one person is praying to Jesus, one person is praying to Buddha, someone is praying to Duffman, and then Lenny is praying to Carol. It was just a random person praying to Duffman. It would have been 10 times funnier if that was Homer. Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Or if it was Lenny or Carl.
Even if it was Lenny or Carl, yeah, totally. But it was just a random guy who it's not a character. You know what I mean?
True, but obviously Homer was kind of not meant to be in that scene.
That's true. So it could be linear character.
Because I was thinking if it was Homer, like he's thinking of a donut.
That's true. Classic. Yeah. A donut with a halo on it or something. Yeah, 100%. Or even Satan when I take the joke really dark. But yeah, I just thought it was a missed opportunity. It was just some random dude, you know. Yeah. Then the robot boys request that they put their name tags in their mouths for the easy identification of their skulls. And Burns leaves on a helicopter. One of my favorite bits. He leaves on a helicopter, and he promises all the non-union workers that he's going to get help. And then one of them goes, "Don't leave me, Uncle Monty." And Bert just goes, "Smithers, did you
Uncle?
Yeah, Uncle Monty." He goes, "Smithers, did you grease the strikes?" "Yes, sir." And he just falls. He just the helicopter. It's so good. He employed his nephew and wouldn't save him. Just great detail. And then a plane flies through the power plant and releases water onto the plant. The fire gets extinguished, and the voice again just goes, "Fire extinguished. Plant ruined, and you are all out of work. Happy Thanksgiving." And then all of Springfield starts running out of power. They all blame Homer, and they try to literally throw him under a bus. And he's like, "Hey, it's a figure of speech. You know, like I'll start my diet tomorrow, or I love my children equally." We then cut to him, cut to Marge seeing that Homer has put in the new storm windows, and he popped up all the flashlights with new batteries. But at least the narrator Lisa again says that nothing concerns Marge more than a helpful Homer. She's concerned that he caused the blackout, but she tells him that he tries to do a very similar speech that he did in the Simpsons movie, where it's like, once in every marriage you have to believe in your spouse. Very similar, but then she cuts him up being like, "I've heard this 18 times already." You can't keep doing this. But he just goes, "Hold my hands, look into my heart. Also, if you could examine my prostate." And she's just like, all right, I believe you. A bow and arrow gets thrown in with the message, "Leave him." And you see this is Jacqueline Bouvier, as in Marge's mom. And she's like, "I was aiming for his eye." That guy made me think, it's really strange. I get it because he's a way better character, but it's so weird that we know Grandpa so well, and he's
barely know.
We never see Marge's mom. Never see her.
It's true.
35 years, and there's barely there's one episode I can think of where she's an important character.
I know, and it makes you think. Like often, I'm like,
I forget. I think she's dead or something. Yeah, I always forget because we see her so rarely.
She's dead, or there's like, she's separate from the family, but it's like she's there.
She's There's no conflict or anything. There's no reason as to why we don't see her as often. We see Patty and Selma all the time. We see Grandpa all the time. Never see Jacqueline. Yeah, so bizarre.
It's really weird. Maybe they're saving it for something.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's just a character. To be fair, I don't find her anywhere near as interesting as Grandpa or even Patty and Selma. But that's just because there's not a lot to her.
They've not done enough of her yet.
Yeah, they really haven't. Yeah, I think there's more to explore there for sure. Even in this one scene where we do see her, she doesn't even come into the house. She's throwing a bow and arrow in there. Yeah. Bizarre. We then cut to the town hall. Quimby announces that they're currently conducting a study to figure out whether a study should be conducted or not. He says that so good. He says that tomorrow they will begin by everyone attempting to kill Milhouse. Milhouse goes, "Finally got picked first. Booyah!" Perfect. There's no better character you could have picked for that moment. Not a chance. And then we cut to Maggie stacking bricks in the house where all bricks have been thrown in because everyone's blaming Homer. We see one brick says, "Running low, time to reorder." Another brick says, "Homer sucks, please return brick." And then Jebediah Springfield gets thrown in. That was brilliant. Like they're running so low on bricks, they have to get the town statue. We cut to Marge saying that all the food is gone, and she tells Homer that she can't take any more explanations from him, and just storms off. And we got to Bart attempting to call tech support. We got the tech support and see that they've all committed suicide, which was such a terrible joke. Yeah. Made me laugh though.
But I thought very funny. That was like a recurring theme of the episode. It actually was quite dark.
Some pretty dark gags throughout. Yeah, pretty consistent stuff. Yeah, this very bleak power outage. Then we got the comic book guy announcing his opinions because there's no Twitter anymore. He just goes, "Hear ye, hear ye! The new Matrix movie blows. You do not need to take the red pill or the blue pill. End of tweet." And Gil just goes, "Oh, I like that tweet. In fact, I'm going to follow you." Just starts following him. Great then.
And I liked the newest Matrix.
I was about to say, I forgot there even was one because it just came and left. I didn't see it. It just came and left.
You didn't watch it?
No, because I remember it came out at the same time as No Way Home and I was distracted.
Oh, it was really good.
Because I just loved No Way Home so much and saw it like 3 times.
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah, fair enough. Very interesting. I had an argument with my stepdad last day. I just remember because of No Way Home. He said that because Hugh Jackman is coming back as Deadpool, would that now make him the longest serving person to play a superhero? Because it was once Robert Downey Jr. But I don't think you can count Hugh Jackman because he took a 7-year break.
Yeah, you can't really take a break and come... Like, an employee doesn't work at a company for 30 years and then he took 7 years off and came back.
He can get the credit again.
He actually worked there for 23, but 7 years of that he wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, he worked there for 23 years.
Yeah, we had that argument, and he was like,
just add it on to what he did before, what he does now. Don't count the gap.
You can't count the gap, exactly. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, can't redeem that record if you took that long of a break.
Yeah, and it's a considerable break. It's not like he took a year off.
Yeah, 7 years is a long time. He didn't agree with me. He said like, no, I think he's beaten Robert Downey Jr. And I won the argument because I said, if you can count that, you could say Tobey Maguire has been playing Spider-Man longer than any 100%. Of them. If you count the huge gap he took between Spider-Man 3 and No Way Home, you know what I mean? Yeah, but his gap was like 15, 16 years. You know, then he tops Hugh Jackman and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and what about Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, I mean, his wouldn't be like, as long as Tobey Maguire, obviously. It's still a long time, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they'd be up there if you're not counting the gigantic gaps. Yeah. I won the argument by saying Tobey Maguire. He was like, shit, fair point. Because his gap was gigantic and he's only done 4 Spider-Man movies, you know. So fingers crossed more. Yeah, fuck you, stepdad. It's just me revealing that I hate my stepdad. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that usual cliche. I actually prefer my stepdad to my real dad. I hope neither of them ever see that. Jokes, love you both equally, or my dad a little bit more. Whatever the right answer is, it's that one.
I don't know what. Yeah,
I don't either. They don't listen. They both are disappointed in me. Anyway, we got to Homer. Avoid this fact. We got to Homer trying to go to Moe's. And we just see a man preparing his coffin just with his name on it, and Moe just throws him out immediately. And they're all dressing like they're from the 1700s now, which becomes a common gag throughout the episode.
I felt really bad for Homer in this
scene. It's so sad,
because the whole town was like bleak and depressing. But Moe, when you walk into Moe's bar, it's like a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Everyone's like having a really good time in there.
I know, but then turn the moment they see him and toss him out. That was so sad. Yeah, when he's like, Moe, you know that deep down we both love each other, and Moe just throws him out through the window.
It goes to show because it's one of those places that doesn't actually rely really on technology.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just a pub. Yeah, he doesn't do anything digitally. Yeah, it's all beer on tap and stuff.
Light it by candles.
Yeah, exactly. Have a good time. Live old fashioned.
Pubs are timeless.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the more timely, the better the pub.
Yeah.
Any pub that's too digital, I have no interest. I like to feel a bit like it's from the fucking 60s or 70s or something. I love that quality. That's why I love Irish pubs so much, because they always feel so old fashioned. Yeah. We then cut to Grandpa coming to the house with firewood, and he's like, I used to live like this back in my time, back in the 30s or 50s or whatever makes sense now. Great little Fort Wall right there. Really good. Marge is like so great. He was like, oh, you saved us. And he's like, well, old people have a lot of wisdom if you take the time to... Marge just cuts him off like, okay, she says thank you. And we see the family starting to really enjoy an electricity-free life. We got them all sharing a bed together, and Lisa hears a noise. She thinks the house is getting broken into, and she's like, what was that? And Grandpa just goes, go back to sleep, Lisa. Tomorrow's Sunday. You don't have to start your chores until 4 a.m. And we see that the town is putting the house, so absurd, they're putting the house on a truck and driving them out of town. I loved it though. And Clea says he can't wait to become the new town idiot, which is actually very accurate. If Homer's out of the equation, then of course he'd be the new town idiot. And we see that the house is now on top of a mountain. Like, it is oddly upset that they slept through all that.
I know.
Whatever, it was good fun. We cut to the Springfield shopper getting thrown into them. And Homer picks up the paper, and we see the headline, City celebrates expulsion of the Simpsons. And they say that at least, Homer says at least there's no stupid Flanders. And we see that he got his house put right next to the Simpsons. And Homer's like, oh, well, at least you believe me, Flanders. He's like, yes, but I also believe in a holy ghost no one can see. He's like, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the spooky +1. And Mary says that her only options now are to be furious at him for the lie or to believe him like a fool. But then he reveals, a good little reveal from earlier, is that he tells her he didn't actually eat the food that she thought he ate because the fridge was empty. He actually put it under the snow to keep it fresh, and that makes her think, okay, maybe he is telling the truth. Lisa says there's only one man who could be responsible, the town villain. Bart just goes, Luigi! No, Burns. We then cut to Burns' mansion. Burns is saying, Smithers, I've eluded justice once again. May my uppance never come. Because of the family arriving in, Burns tries the trapdoor, but it can't function without power. So he gets Smithers to do it manually. Then they just move out of the way of it. He's like, you can't move, that's cheating. Wiggum comes in trying to arrest him, but his hands are too skinny for the cuffs. So he tells Lou to get the kitty cat cuffs, and those fit perfectly. We then cut to people protesting outside the Springfield Town Hall. One sign, all the signs are great. One says, we wasted our bricks. One says, Burns in hell. And another says, we can't wait to see Monty burn. That one was like, how did they ever think of that guy before? That was right there. Yeah, see Monty Burns. Crazy. And then one that says, kill Burns. And they decide, Quimby decides to give him the stiffest punishment a billionaire could ever receive. A fine he can easily pay.
It happens.
It's too accurate, I know. It's too true.
It's got me thinking. My old head teacher in my secondary school, his name was Dr. Kill Martin.
Kill Martin.
I'm like, fucking hell. Imagine, like, just knowing someone called Martin and he finds out your name's Dr. Kill Martin.
He's like, oh, better stay away from you.
It makes it more creepy that he's a doctor as well.
Yeah,
Dr.
true. It makes it sound more threatening.
It's not Mr. Kill Martin, it's Doctor.
I guarantee you he's gotten that joke every single time he's met a Martin.
Yeah.
You know, like,
better
stay away from you. Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, we make that joke all the time in Ireland because there's so many places called Kill something. Like, there's Kill Arnie, Kill Kenny, a bunch of different kills. We always make that joke, like, oh, where are you going for today? I'm going to Killarney. Well, who's Arnie? All the time, yeah. And obviously Kilkenny was a Papa Rome because of South Park, yeah. He pays off the fine and he just goes, I make more than that in the time it took me to say more than that.
And in London there's Kilburn.
Kilburn, yeah, exactly. I know Comedian has a great joke about that. Is he says, I live in Kilburn, which is a very accurate name because there's two things that will happen to you if you go there.
Good.
Really, really good. And Homer says that he's glad that Lenny and Carol love him again. Carol says they're still mad because this brought up a bunch of stuff that he actually did do. And then he goes, do you remember when I was going to be an orthodontist? No more, thanks to you. I love that. How would Homer have gotten in the way of him?
Well, he has his ways.
That's true, yeah. He definitely does have his ways. It just seems like a very specific one.
That's a whole episode.
That's a whole episode. I would say I would love to see that episode. How the hell did Homer prevent Lenny becoming an orthodontist?
Yeah.
I would love to see that episode. Yeah, that'd be great because we have a lot of episodes where Homer... we're Lenny and Carl are like, sidekicks of Homer. I'd love to see an episode where like Lenny or Carl are like, conflicts against Homer. Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. Obviously it's in this episode. I'm saying like a proper, like where they're like the main characters. That'd be awesome. I mean, I'm just endlessly fascinated by Lenny and Carl as characters. I always want to see more from them.
Yeah.
I think they're great and I do think they're used the right amount, but at the same time I would like to see them do an episode really digging into them.
True.
Yeah. We then cut to Marge inviting them all to Thanksgiving dinner. Only if they put the house back where it was. And just goes, it's never just dinner, it's always something. We then cut back to the future from earlier on, and we see that the story was so long that Bart died of boredom, but he finally got the drumstick. And then the hologram Homer fights him back for it. And then our final little tag of the episode is Homer. This is, again, the regular aged Homer and Lisa. He's reading a story called The Christmas Orange to her, because for the whole thing Lisa's like reading all these books from the 1700s trying to connect with that time period, and Homer's crying. The story was ridiculous. Homer's crying because Becky never got to taste an orange as he passed that morning from scarlet fever. He just goes, they zested the rind over her grave. He's crying as he's saying it. Lisa says she's ready for bed, but Homer needs to see if Euchariah sold the town to the untrustworthy Canadians. They didn't pay him for last time. He just goes, then in the spring an orange tree grew over her grave, and starts crying again. One wants this story. Ridiculous. And there we go. That was a blast. I thought I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode as well.
Really, really good fun. Yeah.
Definitely one of the best of the season
so far. Absolutely agree.
The only thing I will say,
the hologram.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna
dwell on that too much. It is a good point, though. Yeah.
The only thing I will say about this episode is the story didn't really feel like it had. It was more like a slice of life.
Yeah.
Rather than this is the, beginning, middle, end. This is what happened. This is the conflict. This is how it's been cleared up.
Yeah. No, I know that as well. It's the plot points didn't lead into each other very seamlessly. It didn't really add up why everyone thought it was Homer for no reason.
Yeah, it didn't.
When it was so clearly Burns.
Not all the answers were. Not all the questions were answered. But
yeah.
I still.
But it was just good fun.
It was great fun.
Yeah.
And it was really funny and.
Totally great gags.
I always love it when they bring as many Springfieldians in as possible.
Yeah, and they do so brilliantly here because they're the angry mob, which they're always so great as a unit when they're just the angry mob. They're all just mad at the same thing in such an unreasonable way.
I know.
It's always brilliant.
And the gags were super hilarious.
For sure.
It was sort of nice getting a Homer episode.
Yeah.
But Homer's on his own. It's Homer against the world.
He's with the family, but even they're against him. They don't believe him.
Which is similar to the Simpsons movie.
Yeah, I do have that point mentioned as well. Yeah, it is very similar.
Very similar.
I didn't mind.
Movie.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
No,
it was just great fun, and I think I would give it a 7.5. Yeah, 7.5.
Sure.
Just only on the pure fact that the story didn't feel cohesive.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. That'd be my only real criticism. Otherwise, I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it an 8. I said it kind of had season 5, season 6 vibes because those seasons had a lot of episodes that were the town against the family.
True.
I think we hadn't had those in a very long time. I just liked it. It felt very old school having that plot set up.
True.
I just thought it was it's a super fun adventure. It could have been a movie, how big the plot was, the town moving the family away to that mountainside.
That was the second Simpsons movie.
No, I would have been against it.
But you'd be like, "What the fuck? It's the same as the first."
That's true. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too similar. Yeah,
it'd be like The Force Awakens. You'd be like, "This is just a New Hope."
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, I think the movie should always be the family against the town. That's a good place for any story to go to be a longer story for The Simpsons. Yeah. But this story is probably a bit too similar to the movie to. Fine for an episode, but probably too similar to be a full-blown movie. But I said it definitely borrowed, at least it reminded me of the movie, and also Last Exit to Springfield, because that whole episode is about a power outage.
Yeah,
so it reminded me of those two, definitely, but I didn't mind it. It did its own thing with these similar plot points. And my final was I just thought it was great to see Burns back in full form again.
Connection.
Yeah, just proper he's the villain of Springfield plotting against everybody.
Of course,
just so morally.
We love it.
Just so morally incorrect in every way. He wants to shut down the power of the whole town.
Let his nephew to die.
Trying to get rid of all his workers to bring in non-union so he pays them less. Just so morally flawed in every single way possible in this episode, and that's why we love him.
Exactly.
I know you weren't a big fan of Thirst Trap. I thought the episode was fine, but he's definitely not your usual Burns in that episode, so it was just great to see the classic Burns back in action, just always having the upper hand and just never having any redeeming qualities.
100%.
So super fun. Very kind of classic feel to it. Really enjoyed it. And let's jump into the news. I have 3 pieces of news this week.
Fucking hell.
Quite a bit of shit popped up since we last recorded. Unfortunately, the first bit is kind of sad, but we have to report all news. Matt Selman, one of the producers on the show, confirmed that due to the writers and actors strike that happened last summer, that obviously caused a lot of delay on production for many shows, obviously especially for animation because of how long it takes. This season is going to be the shortest season in the show's history, excluding the first season. It's only going to be 18 episodes.
Still a lot.
But we usually get 22, so I'm definitely upset. But it's better than if they rushed the production of episodes and brought out
exactly. Quality over quantity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also means we might catch up.
We very easily might catch up. It's crazy to think 18 episodes. So this is the 7. Once we record the 9th episode, which is obviously going to be very soon, we're going to be halfway there already, which is wild. Yeah,
because we do this
every second week usually.
Yeah, either once every week and a half, once every 2 weeks. So it's like...
Yeah, we'll probably catch up pretty soon. Yeah,
that means we're doing maybe 30... No, less than 30... 25 a year, maybe?
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. So, we usually end up doing a whole season and the beginning of a season.
Yeah.
So we very easily might catch up. By the end of the summer, we will definitely have made a very, very big dent in this season.
Yes.
Yeah, which is wild to think. But yeah, definitely better than if they rush production for another episode. For the other 4 episodes, should I say? And maybe I don't know. Maybe this is wishful thinking. Maybe they will make up for that next season by having more episodes. No, I wouldn't be against that personally. The second piece of news is the writer Tim Long, who wrote. You remember how I was saying in the last episode how a character dies in an upcoming episode? You still don't know who that character is? No, good. I won't repeat it here.
I almost fell into the clickbait the other day.
Oh really?
I didn't.
I don't want to know.
I actually really want it to be a surprise.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I like that.
It's like I'm sure this isn't spoiling anything now. I'm sure I can say this, but
yeah,
I used to love Game of Thrones.
You can talk about Game of Thrones. Yeah,
I kid you not, because Game of Thrones came out on Sunday evening in America,
and we could see it Monday morning,
and we could see it on Monday.
Yeah,
and this episode came out on the day I was doing an exam, and I was like, I can't wait to finish this exam, get home, and watch the final episode. I think it was of season 5 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And that's the episode that Jon Snow dies.
Yes.
And someone fucking spoiled it for me. Twat.
Someone in school?
Yeah.
Fuck them, man.
And he didn't even watch Game of Thrones. He just saw it online and was like, oh, Seb, Jon Snow dies.
What a prick. Yeah. Jesus, I hate that. I still, to this day, remember I was avoiding anything online related to The Force Awakens. I didn't want any spoilers. And I remember watching a video on YouTube that had nothing to do with Star Wars. And I clicked into the comments, and the first comment was Han Solo dies.
Oh my god.
I was so upset, yeah. And a similar story.
And it's not illegal.
No, of course not. It should be illegal. Yeah, it should be not a harsh punishment, but a little house arrest for a week. Something that makes you shut the fuck up. Absolutely, it's the worst thing. Yeah, it's a little beat. It's a little few punches. You do it again, the beating gets bigger. You know, a legal
birthday digs as you get older.
Your
arm is more and more bruised.
Imagine getting a knock on your door and it's just 3 British police officers and saw you spoke Game of Thrones online.
Sorry, mate. It's a job.
Yeah. Just with a bunch of batons. I remember. I'm very proud of myself for doing this. Actually, I remember. Do you know how Breaking Bad got really big after it ended? When it went on Netflix and stuff. Yeah. I remember I was in 4th year of secondary school and everyone was watching it, and I was one of the first people to finish it. But there was this one guy in my class who was a little bit behind, and another guy in my class told him everything that happened. He was Hank dies.
Did he not? Was he not no, I'm not listening.
For some reason he was just being yeah. But he was Hank dies, Jesse runs away, Walter dies. He just told him all the major things. Skylar runs away from them, stuff like that. And he looked visibly upset, and he turns to me and he just goes, "Is that true?" And I was like, "Nah, he made all that up."
That's very good of you.
I think so, right? Yeah. And then when he finished it, he came to me and he was like, "Thank you so much, for lying and telling me that's not how it ended, because then I got to be surprised again." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, that's a good deal I can forever be proud of myself for, because I unruined the ending of one of the best TV shows of all time."
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to ruin that experience for anybody. It's one of the best pieces of pieces of media ever. Yeah, 100%. But anyhow, is the guy who wrote the episode where this character dies. It obviously caused a bit of controversy online from the major fans. So he apologized to fans upset over the recent character death, and he said, "I'm sorry if people are upset, but I really wanted to use that in this episode as a way to show that even the most peripheral people in our lives have dignity and worth, and we really shouldn't take anyone for granted. To me, this is just a testament of and a measure of how much the show still means to people. Nobody would have been this upset if the Flintstones killed off the Great Gazoo." That was a funny way to end it. Yeah. It is a beautiful point. I mean, it makes me really excited for the episodes. I haven't seen it yet. What he's trying to do with that in the episode, and then it's just a good point of him to saying this just shows how much people care about the show and how much these characters mean to them.
I'm not gonna ask who it is, but I have a few theories.
Okay,
you don't have to answer.
This is the new Who Shot Mr. Burns. Yeah.
So I think it could be Smithers.
Okay.
I think it could be Principal Skinner.
Ooh.
Which is a heavy one.
Yeah.
I think it could be one of Paddy or Selma. And I think this is my biggest theory of who it would be.
Yeah.
Grandpa. And that's all I'm going to say.
Ooh.
Those are the four. Grandpa being the one I believe the most.
Okay.
Smithers maybe second. But yeah.
And then, like, a little further down, Principal Skinner, Paddy or Selma. Okay.
Principal Skinner is like a long shot.
Yeah.
Not that I thought it could, but yeah.
Yeah, long shot, sure. I mean, I wish I didn't know, but unfortunately my algorithm is too Simpsons heavy that there was no way it wouldn't appear on my feed. But still looking forward to seeing the episode regardless. And yeah, final piece of news is an upcoming episode entitled Tall Tale Pants will revolve around Burns experiencing jealousy over the newfound popularity of Robert J. Oppenheimer, wishing that his evil doings could be as globally impactful as his. Nice. Sounds like a brilliant episode, yeah. A great way to address...
He's jealous of a guy that invented the nuclear bomb.
Yeah. Sounds just brilliant, yeah. A great way to address the popularity of Oppenheimer in a very Simpsons way, you know? Yeah, very excited for that. Cool. Let's jump into Seb's Classics then.
Yeah. So...
Love this episode.
Let me get my notes up.
Yeah, sure.
I've done my notes this week, similar to how you do. I'm not doing the whole thing, but I'm summarizing the episode.
Yeah, sure.
So, Simpsons season 12, episode 8. Skinner's Sense of Snow.
Love this episode so much.
Amazing episode.
Yeah.
I forgot how good this episode is.
Oh, this is a go-to for me at Christmas time. Even though it's not, it's a rare...
Technically, it's like how Die Hard's a Christmas film.
Yeah, it's a rare episode that like you could watch any time of the year perfectly fine because it's not like Christmas heavy at all, but it has a Christmas feel to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it works Christmas time.
And snow.
Yeah, exactly.
The town of Springfield is hit with a massive snowstorm, forcing the school to close. Principal Skinner decides to keep the students entertained, showing.
But every school apart from elementary closes.
And this got me thinking, like, do you remember back in the day when they used to announce the school on the radio? That was pure excitement. You'd be sitting at the fucking breakfast table in your cereal. Like,
so good. Come on. I also have experienced exactly what they experienced in the episode, is them saying that my school will stay open.
Yeah. But I remember they used to do this, but this one year, they, for some reason, did it by area.
Right.
So I used to live in a place called Woodingdean in Brighton. If anyone's from there, you know, hit me up. I don't know. Just well done. Like,
well done for surviving.
It's a great place. But
okay.
I used to live in Woodingdean, and Woodingdean was on like a big hill.
Yeah.
It was very high up. So when it snowed in Woodingdean, it was a lot thicker than like anywhere else in Brighton.
Right.
But
so the school was like guaranteed to close then.
Sort of, yeah. And but they did it like sometimes they did it like different places in Brighton. They'd be like, so if you are from Woodingdean, you are not going to school today. If you are from Peacehaven, you are going to school today. And it's like, and I liked that format as well.
Yeah,
because that makes more sense. Because it's your school's open, but you live like across town. Yeah. It's like just because you go to school somewhere doesn't mean you necessarily live near it.
Yeah. So you can get there.
It makes more sense to be like,
area.
Well, we study the geography of where snow has been hit the most and how hard it will be to drive. And, you know,
it does make more sense. Yeah, but it's more satisfying to have your school be named and be like, it's closed. It's like, yes.
Yeah, and then you hear like your rival school has to go in.
You're like, fuck you, friend who I live close to, who has a miserable journey to school today. It's like winning the lottery.
So Principal Skinner keeps them entertained with this like terrible B movie.
Oh my god, that was so good. I totally forgot about that bit. It's called, because he says, I'm going to keep you entertained with some Grinchy entertainment. They're all like, ooh.
The Christmas that almost wasn't, but then was.
It's so good. And it's like these Christmas goblins breaking into the North Pole, and just cuts to, and the goblin's like singing to a woman, like he's falling in love with her. He's like, I want to pitch woo with you. We just see Bart being so bored. He's like, he's been singing for 2 hours. And then they see like a stunt, like an assistant come in with coffee.
Yeah.
And he realizes they're filming, so he just like backs away. It's like such a terrible movie. I loved it.
Meanwhile, Homer gets trapped in the snow while retrieving his lost frisbee and seeks shelter in the school with the kids and staff. With no rescue in sight.
Did you say Homer?
Homer gets trapped in the snow.
Oh yeah, I was in the school. Sorry, yeah. With Flanders.
Yeah, and do you know what? Flanders was like one of the most irritable we've ever seen him.
I know.
Episode. He was in the car, like actually looking angry.
Yeah.
He's in the plowmobile.
I was thinking that the whole time. Yeah, I was like, Homer is like never annoyed him this episode. He's just being the annoying one, and Flanders is being irritable, getting irritated. Yeah, I love the bit as well where he like turns Flanders' car into a plow machine, and he's like, "Wait, why'd you do that?" And it's like, "Well, it's my car. It's only fair." Like, "Well, no, it's my car." Oh, good point. And then he's like, "Well, what happened to your plow company?" I was like, "I never had a plow company." "Hey, then Mr. Plow, you're wearing the jacket right now." Like, "I think I know my life better than yours." And then they're driving. He's like, "Mr. Plow, that's my name."
I love how it was
such an idiot.
Even at season 12, it was like considered a classic.
Yeah, of course, and always will be one of the classics. Yeah, for sure.
But,
so loved all the stuff in the school.
It gets worse because the school's boiler explodes. And then Lisa takes charge and organizes the group to work together, helping each other with the ordeal. Principal Skinner, overwhelmed by the situation, learns to appreciate the resourcefulness and resilience of his students.
Indeed.
And yeah, I think I'm not gonna go into the whole episode.
Yeah, that's the main
parts
of it. Yeah,
The what I like about this episode is like the whole teamwork element.
Yeah, with the kids.
The kids.
Yeah, so good. And all the me against Skinner and stuff. Obviously, I love any Skinner episode. This is a great one. Him just going crazy with power and then losing all that power so pathetically, just being stuck in the dodgeball bag.
A guy that's literally been in the Vietnam War.
He's just absolutely useless against a bunch of like 10-year-olds.
And he's like, they try and make him climb that rope.
Yeah.
Because we had this at school.
It's impossible.
We had that rope that you had to climb it. No one could ever climb it.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Yeah, it was impossible.
And even he was like, it's impossible. I can't climb this rope. And he was in the Vietnam War.
I know, yeah, they're all making him so good. Him, the dodgeball bag. And when they're like trying to like sum up how much he's worth, they're looking at like his permanent records. It's like, he makes $25,000 a year. Multiply that by 40. It's like, I wasn't a principal when I was 1.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he also works in the summer.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And then he's
so
like,
good.
If I was a billionaire, why would I still live with my mother? And they would just start laughing.
So good. I love they seem to assume that like he makes the money but never spends it.
Yeah.
He'd be a millionaire.
That's the mindset of a kid.
Of course, yeah. You make the money, you just have it forever. It's very, very accurate to like how you would think as a 10-year-old. Yeah.
This
so
is
good.
a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's high up for me, man. It would be like it's literally an episode I would typically watch every Christmas. It's up there. I think give it 9.5.
Nice.
I love this episode. It's so fun. The side story as well with Homer and Ned is really enjoyable. Like when he starts going crazy because the exhaust fume burst and he's having that dream with all the Hawaiian ladies and he gets them to like pour ranch dressing on him. And then the hamster the hamster that Skinner sent out like breaks open Homer and Ned's car. And he's like, "Oh, we're free. The exhaust fumes are coming up." It's like, "No, it's not. It's ranch dressing." They drive off. It is a little bit convenient that the hamster that Skinner sent finds Homer and Ned. It's like one of the only little things I'll say. And then like they freed him at the end because they break the salt silo.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit convenient. It was like whatever. He obviously had to wrap it up somehow. One of my favorites as well is when they break the salt silo, falls into the school, and they get set free. And Martin's like, "Oh, we're free!" And he takes the salt. He's like, "And oh, thanks to the help of a little sodium chloride." And then Nels immediately starts beating him up. Yeah. He just like wails on him straight away. So good. Yeah. I love all the stuff in the school with the kids. I love when Skinner was like mad at Power at the beginning as well before the kids took charge.
Oh yeah.
He like hangs Nelson on like a coat hanger. He's like, "Come on, guys, gang up. He can't hang all of us." And he's like, "No, actually, I can." He like counts all of them. He's goes to Sherry and Terry like, "Do you guys mind sharing a hook?" It's like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
"No, I can't." Or he's like, all they have in the cafeteria is sauces, and Nelson's like eating what was it? It was like some sort of pickle sauce.
Pickle relish.
Yeah. And he throws it at the wall, and he's like, "If you don't eat your relish, you're not getting any mayonnaise." But then later on, when they're like rampaging through the school, when they take over, he's like wailing down on the relish. He likes it again.
Genuinely though, that's something that like would happen. Like, can you imagine if we had like some sort of apocalypse?
You'd go crazy, yeah.
And like you were only left with the food in your house. Like the things that would the last of it would be like ketchup.
That's so true.
You'd just be eating like a fucking bowl of ketchup.
I never thought about that. I remember
my mate wasn't even poor, so I don't even know why he ate this.
I'm scared.
His parents just didn't, for some reason, buy many groceries. It was just like they just bought dinner.
Yeah.
It was like never snacks in his house. It was just cereal, bread, or dinner.
Right. Yeah, I've been in houses like that. Yeah.
And it's depressing.
Oh, very depressing.
His brother, like when he got home from school, because he lived around the corner from me, so I always used to go to his after school.
Yeah.
His brother would just eat like a ketchup sandwich as a snack.
Oh, I'd be sick.
Yeah, or sometimes like ketchup on toast.
Oh, awful.
Just a fucking ketchup sandwich, or just a piece of bread with ketchup on it. That'd be a snack because they didn't have snacks.
Come on, man. You don't have jam, butter, anything. Anything over
just bread
ketchup.
and butter.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that's gross. My uncle put ketchup on everything. It's gross. Ugh. Like a carvery dinner. And
that's
he'll
bad.
Destroy it with ketchup.
That's really bad.
You're just destroying your taste buds too. It's the same with like someone who has too much salt. It's like you're just not enjoying the food for what it is. You just want to taste ketchup.
So there's a fucking lot of sugar in ketchup.
Oh yeah, of course. Your food is just becoming a transport for your ketchup.
Your ketchup, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, I used to do a similar thing with mustard. Like, I love putting mustard.
You love mustard, yeah.
But it's what I don't understand is when people have a full English or a full Irish, and they put ketchup on it.
Yeah,
but I'm like, you have beans.
Yeah, exactly. That's ketchup.
Beans is
more natural.
The sauce that you can put on stuff.
Yeah, it's more natural to have ketchup. Yeah,
but I don't know why people have beans and then also have ketchup.
I know. No, I'm really not a ketchup on the frying man. I'm like a lot of salt, a lot of pepper on my full English, but not any sauces. No,
you don't need it.
I want to taste the egg and the bacon and everything. Yeah, for what it is.
Also, like you can dip like your bacon or sausage in the egg yolk.
Like, delicious.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
like, all the hash brown on the bread.
Love it so much. Yeah, so good.
And
I'm also really not a fan.
You can mop everything up with the bread and the bean sauce, and it's just that's why it's such a great complete meal.
It's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. No, ketchup ruins it. I'm also really not a fan. Very controversial thing to say, especially in the UK. Really not a fan of brown sauce.
I hate it.
Exceptionally overrated. Oh my God,
it's disgusting. To me, it tastes like if raisins were a sauce.
Yeah, that's very accurate. Yeah, no, for sure, that's very accurate.
I'm not a fussy eater at all.
No,
but the one of the few foods I dislike is raisins and sultanas and dates.
So you like sultanas? No. I don't like dates either. But yeah, I don't like going on dates apparently. I don't like dates, no. I won't touch anything with beetroot. I really don't like beetroot. I find dates either. I don't like olives.
Love olives.
People get so pretentious with olives. They're like, you gotta eat them a few times to like it. I'm like, why would I eat it again if I didn't like it the first time?
I see your point. They are right, but I do see your point of like, why would I just force myself if I don't like it?
Yeah, exactly. Same with wine. Like, if I don't like wine, why would I have another glass of it? You know? But yeah, anyhow, let's jump on to our next segment. Keep it short, baby. So yeah, this is, again, a very, very short little Tracy Ullman Show clip. This one is called Eating Dinner. It's from July 12th, 1987. Bizarre, they used to do shows in the summer back then. They always take a break in the summertime now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tracy Ullman Show was still going straight into summer. This short sees Marge struggling to get the family to come for their hearty, nutritious meal. And she says, if you don't come for your meal right now, there'll be no dessert. And they all turn up immediately. They all start saying grace. Great little classic old school Homer bit. He just goes, good drink, good meat, good God, let's eat. And they all just tear into it. And then Marge tells them not to slurp so loudly. And then a more aggressive Homer, he just goes, she's right, you little slobs. It's just so clear that they just don't know who he is yet, you know? The thing about this Homer is he's not likable. There's nothing lovable about him.
There's nothing likable about any of these characters.
Not really, no, not really. But I think especially Homer, you know, who will go on to be the most lovable.
Yeah.
Like a little cuddly teddy bear. But in these shorts, he's just like the mean dad who also does a little bit inconsistent with his behavior. You know, he's about, yeah, you little slobs, and he'll start eating really aggressively as well, you know.
Come on, Marge, you little slut.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine? I mean, the Tracy Ullman Show was a bit more adult than The Simpsons, as in the show, so you never know what's going to come. I haven't seen any of these. So
Come on, Marge, you filthy whore.
I'm going to give you a slap if we don't get to the bedroom soon. Like, oh my God. So I think we need to skip this short.
Jeez, oh my God, what am I watching?
How the fuck have we been talking about? Like, yeah, so this next short is a little bit different to how we know the show today.
Quick parental warning. It's pornography.
Shut the fuck up, Bart. But yeah, and then the Marge says that they need to have more communication. This is, I think, probably the best gag in the short so far. His Bart grabs the TV, they turn it on, and it's just some guy reporting about a decapitation in a freak roller coaster accident. I thought that was funny. Yeah. It's like they're trying to be more peaceful, and it's just some guy reporting on a horrible piece of news. It was a perfectly fine short.
Read into this
way
more deeply than it should be read into.
Maybe,
but
maybe not.
I saw this as like Marge is like trying her hardest to make the family as normal as possible, which often happens in the show. Right.
Yeah.
So it's also a theme that we see in the show.
Big time.
But she's trying so hard that nothing works.
Yeah.
In the sense, she's like, everyone should stop being loud.
But
louder. We also need to have a conversation and not wolf our food down.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like a struggle with families where it's like, what do we do? Do we like do Mediterranean style where we like eat slow and talk? Or do we like quickly? It's a common theme.
Yeah, you're telling me to eat all my food, but you're also telling me to talk. It's like this is all very inconsistent behavior. Yeah, and very big thing with families.
I had a very weird like childhood, so I wasn't really a part of the whole like you sit at the table and you have to tell everyone what you did with your day and stuff.
I mean, I was only a child, so I didn't have that issue either. Yeah, I didn't have that either growing up. Yeah. Very interesting. But that wraps up the short. Shall we jump into the recommendations?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors. Hey!
You knew I was going to go rock, though.
Glory.
You predicted it because you wanted me to win that time.
I didn't know you were going to go rock. I just went, I'm going to pick one that I never pick, which is scissors. I'm not a big scissor guy. But yeah, at last.
No, but your mum is.
Sorry. She's not comfortable talking about that publicly yet.
Okay.
But yeah, go for it. Finally, probably on the second or third time ever you've gone first. It feels weird, doesn't it? Yeah.
So my recommendation, and it's funny, I didn't even watch this in full, but I'd seen it so many times before.
Yeah.
I was like, this has to be a recommendation. It's Night at the Museum.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Jeez, you gave me a million guesses, I wouldn't have said that.
I know.
But yeah.
It's just a classic
it's great.
Kids film.
Yeah.
Adults can enjoy it. There's all these historical elements that are like so fun, the way they bring the characters to life to match what they maybe would have been like in a comedic way.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it's so funny. Every prop in the museum has their own personality.
Yeah, man. I remember loving that movie.
And just, I used to watch it loads when I was a kid. It was like one of my favourite films and one I watched with my dad.
Yeah.
And I just watched it again yesterday. And
nice.
Just like...
On your own? Did you show it to your...
With my girlfriend.
Lovely, yeah.
And
has she seen it previously?
Yeah, I think she's seen it before.
Nice, yeah.
I forgot Ricky Gervais was in it.
Oh yeah, I forgot too. Yeah, he's a museum conductor, yeah.
And it's just actually a really good story, like... of the dad trying to seek the approval of his son.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Which was quite unfair, but it made sense because obviously the son's stepdad was actually like really cool.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Got a great cast. Got Ben Stiller, Robin Williams. God, you can't go wrong. Owen Wilson, Steve Coogan. Yeah, insane. God, I'm just remembering now how many great fucking comedians are in this. Yeah,
and it's a great plot. It's a great movie. Like, it's one that holds up to this day.
Oh yeah,
Ben Stiller is just like one of the masters of comedic acting.
He's so good at being. I mean, I love him in the more crazy parts too, like White Goodman and in Dodgeball and stuff like that. He's so good in that, but he's also really, really good as a straight man. He really he can do both so brilliantly. Such a talented man
and a gay man.
Has he played a gay man before? Or he's been in real life? Spreading some rumors here.
No, it's because you said he's good at playing a straight man.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it's just a great movie, and like, if anyone wants to kind of revisit,
you're making me want to revisit it. Yeah,
it's good fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm getting nostalgia just thinking about it. I remember seeing that movie a bunch when it came out in cinemas. I just loved it so much. Yeah, just happy, feel good fun. Definitely holds up. Has enough adult humor for an older audience to enjoy it. Dick Van Dyke and Mickey Rooney as well as the older guys at the end. They're very fun. Yeah, what a wonderful movie. Yeah, I want to rewatch it now. I want to rewatch all three. I know that. Well, I think 3 is actually pretty great. 2 not as great, but they're also good fun.
All great.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think you're gonna rewatch 2 and 3 soon?
I might.
Yeah,
I might.
Yeah.
Currently working through the Matrixes again.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, no wonder you're being defense of the fourth one. Then you're in that nostalgic mode. Yeah. How do you find
I watched
2 and 3?
1 and 4, and I hadn't watched 2 and 3 yet. I've seen them before.
Yeah. How do you find 2 and 3?
I like them.
Do you prefer the fourth one? I don't know what the verdict is there, really.
1 is obviously the best.
Of course, yeah.
And do you know what? 4 is actually my second favourite.
Okay, fair enough.
Then 3 and then 2.
Right. Yeah, I definitely prefer 3 over 2 for sure. Yeah, 2 is by far the weakest. Okay, cool, yeah. My first recommendation, I mean, this movie is doing well. The only reason why I feel that it's worth recommending is I think the trailers of this movie no justice. I think the trailers made it look pretty bad, and it's actually really, really good. The Fall Guy. Yeah. I love The Fall Guy.
People have been saying this.
It's so fun. Ryan Gosling is one of those people that you don't want to like him as much as you do, and every time you see him, like, God damn, he's great.
I was having this conversation with my friends the other day about Ryan Gosling. It's like, it's crazy how good he is, but it's crazy the charisma he has. Because even in the roles where he's playing the biggest loser in the room, he's still somehow the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah, for sure. But he still plays that part well. It's not like he's a bad actor and not playing the loser well. It's just you can't stop looking at him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that
he's not even like
he's handsome or
he is attractive.
For sure, yeah.
But he's not like, I wouldn't say he's like the Hollywood standard of attractive. Like,
no.
His nose is a bit long, his features are quite close together. He just has a sort of charisma.
He's an aura, yeah, for sure. He's also just genuinely a good actor.
Yeah.
Comedic talent, amazing, just like, and it shows really brilliantly in The Fall Guy. Just a really, really fun movie. Great concept. I hope it becomes a franchise. It has so much potential.
Nice.
Emily Blunt is great in as well. Hannah Waddingham, who you'd know from Ted Lasso, she's such a MILF as well. Just throwing that out there.
No comment.
Just a really fun movie. Just like a great blend of action and comedy. Has a good few twists and turns throughout, and just anything Ryan Gosling in the lead, I think is he hasn't gone wrong in a while now.
Yeah.
And I hope he continues because I just enjoy watching him.
One thing about his acting as well is he chooses his moments to really like go crazy.
Yeah, to choose
He's
scenery.
not just one of those actors
subtle.
that is like known for just doing crazy.
No, certainly
things. Not. He picks them well.
Yeah,
he does.
He can be grounded, but yeah, he picks the right scenes to then
like
kind of go.
Blade Runner is a great example because the whole movie he's very like
stoic,
monotone, like
for sure.
But then he'll have the scene where he's like,
which makes it more interesting rather than if you're just crazy for the whole thing, Yeah, man, he's such a good actor. He's also just a really just humble guy. You see him in interviews and stuff. He doesn't seem like fame has gotten to his head at all because he could so easily be oh, everyone thinks I'm hot. I get all the big movies, but he just seems like a really down to earth guy.
Someone I was thinking of that at the moment. Someone that is just like complete themselves is I forget his name. The guy who plays The Witcher.
Henry Cavill.
Totally. He's just his nerdy self.
Absolutely, and
he's just been very blessed to be very attractive.
And a good actor, totally.
But he's like, you see him in interviews, and he's like, I love World of Warcraft, Warhammer.
Love that he owns it. Yeah, he doesn't deny it. Even he tells the whole story about how he nearly missed the call that he got Superman because he was so invested in World of Warcraft. It's so good.
It's like, and that's what he does in his free time. Have you seen that clip where he's on this like panel? And they're like, so what's your biggest like nerdy thing? And he's like, Warhammer 40k, and they're like, oh, interesting. And then the other guy on the panel's like, oh, interesting. I'm doing, I don't know how Warhammer works, but he's saying I'm doing this version at the moment. And he's like, oh really? Oh, should we? And then he's just like, yeah, cool. Like that's their whole interaction. He's just like, oh, okay, so we should. Yeah, cool.
Right. It's just like they know something
that's
we don't know.
That's how guys become friends.
Yeah.
All right.
That's hilarious. I love that. That's been so cool for that guy. It's like, oh, I'm gonna play Warhammer with fucking Henry Cavill now. Yeah, that's awesome. He's doing Warhammer potential franchise for Amazon now. Yeah. He's gonna play the lead role in one of them.
What a dream.
Of course, what he always wanted.
Yeah,
he literally lost Superman and got that, which I'm sure he'd rather anyway. So yeah, super inspiring, super cool dude. And yeah, sorry, do you have a second recommendation?
I actually don't.
Okay, that was your only one. That's fine. I'll do my last one then. I mean, this one was like just definitely one I'd recommend, especially for people doing comedy, stand-up especially. Headliners Only. It's on Netflix, and it's about Chris Rock and Kevin Hart did a tour around New York of like all like the major venues, like all the big arenas and stuff. And it's like them doing that tour together and like them connecting, but it shows it goes back and it shows their journey to get there, basically. To get to a place where they could sell out arenas in New York City, you know. So it like jumped back and forth to like Kevin's journey and Chris's journey, and they both like really fought hard to get where they are. It was super, super inspiring. Really, really good documentary. Cool. Yeah, so highly, highly recommend. It just shows just like the grind and how far you can get if you're just passionate and you keep going. And it jumps into like false starts that they had and stuff like that. Like Kevin had a sitcom that he was really confident about. They thought it was going to blow up, and it got cancelled after one episode. It was like, you know, loads of like stuff like that of like, because they are two people who, from my perspective, I see them as just people who are always doing super well, with the exception of Will Smith. Always just like, you know, getting success, but they still fought very hard to get there, you know. So super, super inspiring, really cool stuff. It shows how far you can get if you just keep working hard and trying to accomplish your dreams. Very inspiring. And yeah, cool. Let's jump into the questions then.
Questiones. How many have we got?
We got two. They're both very, very interesting ones.
Okay.
The first one comes from, he's your friend, and I'm probably going to butcher his name now, Kai Hippolyte Seeley.
Oh yeah, big up Kai.
Big up Kai.
I think you met him.
I did, but that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I didn't want to say just in case. I recognized him from his profile picture, but yeah.
Big up Kai.
Lovely guy, yeah. It's an interesting question. He asks, who would be the celebrity equivalent of Duffman? The real life equivalent of Duffman. Interesting, right? It's a tricky one because there isn't any like real life mascots anymore. They don't really do those anymore.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Just the love of beer and being a hench.
That's true. Man. That's a really good point. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, that's a good one. Hulk Hogan even. What I was gonna say was Jason Momoa, because he's very big on promoting himself. He's very cocky.
Loves his Guinness.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He kind of has that energy similar to Duffman's.
Yeah.
You know. But yes, I feel like Steve Austin might be even more accurate.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, Jason Momoa. Anybody else kind of in that same ballpark? Vin Diesel kind of has a similar Duffman quality.
Vin Diesel does.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel is, hench guy that's a bit cocky.
Yeah, loves his Corona. Yeah, you know, they have to be someone who loves beer and is very vocal about their love for a specific beer.
Very healthy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like, beer's like the only unhealthy thing they probably put into their body. Otherwise, they're working out and looking good. Yeah. Those are three decent answers.
Three very good answers.
Top three: Steve Austin, Jason Momoa, Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
they should battle it out to decide who's the best Duffman.
Steve Austin's winning any day.
Physically, Vin Diesel looks the most like him.
Physically, yeah.
If you were to put them in the Duffman outfits, he would look the most like the TV show.
Of the three, I just like Vin Diesel the least.
No, me too. Yeah, I agree because he's very cringe.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Jason Momoa is more like wholesome in his cockiness, which sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Whereas Vin Diesel is just like, oh god, you love yourself. You know. Interesting question. Thank you, man. And my buddy from Cork City, C. Pinfield, asks, what Simpsons character do you think would fit perfectly into any opposite genre? Very interesting question.
Opposite genre, okay.
Yeah, so I guess just like not a comedy.
Yeah.
One that came to my head, I mean, this isn't a genre more so than it's a very specific answer. But Lenny and Carol would fit perfectly into a Coen Brothers film.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Because they have that weird energy about them. That's funny, but you're not really meant to find it funny.
Yeah, they could so easily be played by like, you know, Steve Buscemi and William H. Macy. Obviously, have to be a black person. But you know what I mean? Like that kind of energy, very well. Yeah. They also have an edge to them. They're kind of crazy too.
Instantly, like, even though it's a boring answer, Marge came to my head just because Marge is always serious and looking for ways to take her life seriously and bring the family together. So I would say Marge for sure.
For what genre?
For like, he says the opposite genre, so I assume the opposite to comedy is like drama.
Oh, well, he said any opposite genre.
So
anything that's not comedy, I guess. But yeah, Marge would fit well into a drama. Yeah, you know what she would also fit well into actually is a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Just a mother who stays at home all the time and her whole life is just about her family. That's a very psychological thriller character right there, you know?
I'm thinking Mr. Burns for like some sort of biopic kind of thing.
That would be so interesting. Just to make that.
Yeah, some sort of
like an Oliver Stone film.
From the past.
Like, but tell it like he's a real person. Yeah. That'd be fascinating.
And I'm thinking Krusty for horror.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, of course, a child entertainment clown. Absolutely. I mean, Krusty would also fit very well into a dramedy, like a Woody Allen type movie.
Yeah.
Right? Just this clown who's down on his luck and he's past the prime of his career. I was thinking there's so much you can do with these characters.
I'm thinking Principal Skinner.
You get in my head too.
For horror.
Oh.
Purely because whenever I think about the Shining Treehouse of Horror, I think that could be Principal Skinner.
Yeah,
the
sure.
One going insane.
Yeah, and the school principal is a scary thing for everybody.
He has an energy about him that he could be like a killer.
Yeah, even as a principal is a good character for a horror. I'm surprised that's never been done.
But maybe psychological thriller because obviously he was in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
So he has that like post-traumatic.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
He lives with his mom, so he has that psycho element to him, the Norman Bates thing. And then works in the school.
He's got the taxi driver. He's got Travis in him.
That's true.
He's got the guy from Psycho in him.
Yeah.
Like these are all potential.
Totally. He works in a school, so he's always surrounded by people, but he's so lonely.
Yeah.
He works with children, but he's never going to be a dad, Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that concept for sure. Yeah, I can definitely see that as a psychological thriller. Patty and Selma could kind of be in a sort of drama.
Or in a horror.
Maybe in a horror. Yeah, these two women who just live alone in an apartment will just live with each other. Two sisters, but they will never marry. They can only be with each other. That could be a drama or a thriller.
I'm thinking
so many.
Chief Wiggum for like a psychological thriller kind of thing.
Yeah, corrupt
police officer. It could be like a whole Taxi Driver thing where it's like depicts his life and like how he goes a bit crazy.
Yeah, just this
honestly, we could go for every character.
There's so many. Yeah, every character inside the family has this weird thing about them that you could easily put them into a different genre. And just change something about them that would make them interesting. Disco Stew would be an interesting one for again a kind of coming of age comedy drama. Like just this guy who just lives in the 70s, but this is a very sad guy.
Yeah,
because everyone in Springfield is pathetic.
Well, it's the same with Krusty. Like his actual character is like depressed.
Yeah. 100%. So, there's a lot you can do with that, and the kind of drama category. Yeah, show business. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we've covered it pretty well there. I mean, when you said Chief Wiggum, also made me think you could do a sort of 3 Billboards type movie with him.
Oh yeah,
he could be Sam Rockwell's character. Yeah, definitely. These are all great answers. Smithers, coming of age, him finding himself kind of movie. I think everybody. Grandpa would be a great war movie. A war film.
Yeah.
Same with Principal Skinner, him in the Vietnam War. Yeah, there's so many. We could go forever. One of the best questions we've gotten in a while, actually, because there's actually so much to work with here. These are the questions I like. The ones that make you go, whoa, there's so many places I can go here. Those are the questions I enjoy, rather than just what's your favorite member of the family? Homer. Okay, cool. Next question. I respect anyone who gives us questions, but I just love ones like this that really make you think outside the box. Those are the best. But I think we'll wrap it up from there, shall we? Yeah, guys, thank you all as always for listening. Gonna shake Seb's hand, and we'll catch you all really soon. Love you lots.
Ciao.
Bye.